Happy New Year, everybody, even though it's about a week or so after New Year's have started, but whatever, better late than never, I suppose. I watched a bunch of movies for the first time during 2022. So this video is going to be just me listing out the movies that I watched for the first time in 2022. It's not a whole bunch of movies that came out in 2022. There's a couple on here that I'm counting on that list for that, but these are ones just in general because I'm the rookie critic and I haven't seen a bunch of films even though I'm super into film. I finally watched some for the first time. And some of them I gave my first impressions on after watching them on the Fandom Collective YouTube channel. So go check those out. Most of them are on that channel. A couple are on here already, but most are on the FC. And going forward, they're going to be on the Rookie Critic channel from now on. But yeah, so let's list. It was around over, I was aiming for 50 at least, and I got just over 50 to be about 52, 53 ish. In the last little couple days, I had squeezed in a few more somehow. But yeah, it started out with the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which, I liked okay enough. I'm not going to comment too much on every single one of these movies, but just a little bit here and there. The wire work, is the one thing most people talked about it, and I mean, I guess it was fine. They're like supposed to be super Shaolin, fighters or something. So that one was okay. Team America. I've seen South Park my whole life, pretty much. Well, not my whole life, but I've watched South Park for a really long time, and so seeing Team America so late after watching South Park for the longest time, Team America was fine, but a lot of the jokes are used in South Park. So when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh yeah, like Durka Durka, all these different jokes, montage. I've seen this already done in South Park, even though it might have originated from Team America. I've already seen a lot of the jokes, so the movie didn't land as well for me. But knowing a lot about the production of that film and knowing it was by the creators of South Park, what makes it a little special still after seeing it. And then No Country for Old Men. This one was one I thought I wasn't necessarily going to like just based off of a few things that I saw prior to, but was pleasantly surprised with enjoying that film. The freaking, the dude's, hunting people down, and it's just he's got a freaking cow marker thing or something, killing people with that, knocking doors open with that. Just threatening little force. It's very chill, very quiet. People's morality are kind of questioning that with what they're choosing to do. The guy taking the money, trying to go back to give him some water before he dies, and then gets caught, and that's what leads him around. Just really good. Freaking love it. Then I saw Top Gun. Top Gun, man, that's one that everybody praises and loves to death, and that's great and all, but I can see why when it came out, this was popular. I think it looks decent. I don't necessarily hate the story or anything. I just was so underwhelmed. It's one of those movies that's so overhyped that when I'm watching it, that just takes a little value away from it because I'm just like, it's all right, I guess. It's a little funny, it's a little interesting, but nothing that I'd praise too high. But something I would praise pretty high is Sin City. Sin City is one of my favorite ones on here, to be honest. It freaking kicks ass. It's got a huge cast that I enjoy. I like the way that they go around the story. The styles are cool and freaking. Ugh, man, that's one I talked a little bit about on the FC, but I might do like a bigger video in the future if I rewatch it again because I freaking love that film, man. And then Nightcrawler, another one that you could check over on the FC. That one I don't have much to comment on, but I did enjoy it. It was pretty good. It was another slow pace, kind of chill one. It's similar to Collateral, which is another one that I watched. They're similar a little bit, not too similar, but some connections you can put there. Those ones are pretty good. And then there was Kung Pao Enter the Fist. Or what was it? It was Enter the Fist or Kung Pao Dragon. I don't remember. But Kung Pao, I hate that movie. There was only one funny line in that movie, and that was, or not really a line specifically, but the baby in the beginning is rolling down a hill, and a lady picks it up, and she's like, "Oh, cute baby, bye bye now," and then just sends it on tumbling down the rest of the way down the hill. That was a little funny. The rest of it, though, I just wasn't really for it. I appreciate the special effects and all that work that went into it, but ultimately just didn't enjoy it. Then we got Anchorman 1 and 2. I don't have much to say on this one, but I found them funny. I find Will Ferrell to be hit or miss with me. Same with Adam Sandler and stuff. Like half the time they make me laugh, the other half I cringe and am annoyed watching them. I laughed at these ones, so that will tell you that. And then I saw Kick Ass 1 and 2, both of them. Surprising superhero ones from a little earlier on that were freaking interesting. I freaking liked that. They weren't too generic with anything they were doing. You know, the motherfucker is it's so stupid, some of the humor, which usually I don't necessarily like, but sometimes stupid humor will hit me in the right type of place. And it seems like they had a good idea with what they were trying to do with it, even though it's a spoof. They had some genuine type of moments and genuine story bits and character parts that really works for the film. So freaking love those ones. Quiet Place 1 and 2. Another set of films that I liked big time. I think they're really good. These are ones that I want to rewatch at some point. Again, looking at them, I give them a bunch of praise. I do also criticize them a lot too, here and there. Having the aliens be ones that hunt by sound, I feel like you could easily defeat them. That they would not be able to defeat the military, honestly. But that's a day. That's just something to talk about another day. I did a video on that on this channel too, if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, to give my impressions on that. And then we go to the 007 films, where I I started, instead of starting at the very beginning, I decided to start with the Daniel Craig Bond ones, and then I'll go back to the beginning and work my way up from there. With the Daniel Craig ones, the only one that I hated was the Quantum of Solace. Holy fuck. I don't even remember what happens in that film at all. I just remember not enjoying it. Casino Royale was fine. It was all right. You know, it's kind of good entrance into the spy game and whatnot. And then Skyfall, I think, was my favorite of the Craig ones. That one was great, especially the intro and the song Skyfall. The freaking swords turning the graves and all that. Just I don't know. There's so much aspects in that film that I like, but to be honest, when I'm done watching all the 007s in proper order and I get back to the Craig ones, I'm going to rewatch them again and see if I feel any different, because I'll have all the old 007 knowledge and stuff into my head, and I'll have that for reference. So that might change my mind. That might affect it. I don't know. And yeah, so Spectre and No Time to Die, or No Time. What's that one was called? I don't remember if that's what that one was called, but those ones I thought were okay. Not super amazing. I liked both of their intro songs, their intro music. I feel like there's probably references to older 007 things in these ones, but that I haven't seen, so I don't know if there's more layered stuff to them, but they're okay. I didn't hate them. Doctor No, the first 007, kind of lame to me, to be honest. I don't know. It was very generic. A lot of screen time. I'm like, why are we freaking here? Like, can we move along a little? We're like watching them get hosed down for radiation for like over 5 minutes. I'm just like, I get the point. You had radiation to cleaning you out, and then they're like asleep, and then they show the villain approach him in his sleep. Nothing happens with that. They just show that happen. It just really abysmal movie to me. I don't know. That one was really lame. However, the follow up with that, From Russia with Love, that one had a lot more going for it. I was a lot more engaged with that one. I liked that one quite a bit. I watched these quite a few months ago, so I don't remember everything that happens off the top of my head, but I remember liking that quite a bit with what they did there. The Revenant, the highly appraised, Leonardo DiCaprio, all that stuff. The Revenant, saw that. It was fine too. Like I can appreciate a lot of the film aspects to it. I think that it was shot well, looked great. The bear scene, of course, awesome. Leo doing freaking awesome at the role, but like as far as my enjoyment, I don't know if I'd want to watch it again, maybe, but I'd have to be in that kind of a mood maybe for it. That again, it's done really well. I can't think of any critiques that I even had for it. It was pretty solid. John Wick 2 and 3. I think John Wick 1 was pretty good, gung fu and all that. 2 and 3, I didn't have much to enjoy with those, honestly. There's some neat action, I guess, but I don't know. Those seemed far lesser compared to the first one to me. Just really not needed at all. Then we have The Mist, which apparently this surprised me when watching it. A lot of people hate that movie because of the ending. Like, a lot of people hate the ending of The Mist. I, for one, thought that that kinda saved the film for me. Like, I thought the movie was pretty, drab, a little mundane, but the way that it ends kind of, puts a lot more emphasis on what happened throughout the film, and it's like, it was if only, like, a minute or 2 went by before he did what he did, like, that could have had you could have had a much happier ending. But no, and it was a very sad, like, oh my god, how do you live with yourself kinda ending, a type of one where I wouldn't mind seeing a follow-up, to be honest, to see how that character would deal with it. Plus, it was the Punisher doing that, so hell yeah. And then we got Silence of the Lambs, which, again, was fine. Like, I don't have much to comment on it. I thought it was done well, plays great Hannibal. It's interesting. Jodie Foster does good. It's alright. There's the film Greta, which was fine too. Like, I enjoyed it. It was, kind of creepy, stalkerish older woman stalking a younger woman, and she like apparently keeps on trying to replace her daughter, and like kidnaps all these, sets these like traps on trains to get them to return a purse, and then like gets somehow we because of their like kind heartedness, they're kind of easier to manipulate to her essentially. So there's an interesting type of concept for a film. There's Night of the Demons. Not my type of movie. Just no. I'm not even gonna go into why. Just no. Ready or Not. Also, no. I'm sure it was funny. It's like a horror comedy. I'm sure it's funny, but I just wasn't finding it funny. I was just like, yeah, I get it. Okay, whatever. They blow up at the end. Oh, I don't know. Just wasn't hitting me right. Don't Breathe, though, that one was hitting me pretty good. I saw that the same day I was watching Quiet Place 1 and 2, so, a lot of, characters trying to not talk or make that much noise in both of those films I thought was interesting. I like this, pretty good. I think I did a reaction on that already as well, and I feel like I wanna comment more on that one in the future, but I wanna see the second one before I give my full commentary on the first one again. And then there was the New Mutants, which was that like X-Men in between the MCU and Fox rights and all that. Back in the day, they're trying to make it R-rated and then change their mind, make it PG rated ish, and it was yeah, there's aspects to it that I could see that could work really well. The characters, some of them looked pretty cool, and I could see them being in another setting that would have worked maybe, but overall the movie's not that great, of course. The Wrong Babysitter was kind of a joke one, because I run another channel called Damsel History, where I discuss like damsel tropes and all that, what different scenes with damsels in stress. This one was kind of selected for that, and it's just a silly little movie. Like on a comedic level, I think it's hilarious, but they're not trying to be funny at all. They're trying to really be kind of serious here, but I'm laughing my ass off. They find the kidnapped girl because of what the mom says her daughter has ice cream theory. Ice cream theory because of ice cream and how long it takes to melt, and that people somehow made a decision to get it like they must be close by because they would it would melt within 30 minutes, so it like I don't know, fucking weird, but I thought it's hilarious. Then there was the so this had two different titles. It was called A Model Kidnapping or Trapped Model, which implied that like this dude pretty much makes her do like a private OnlyFans thing or something, and she's got to figure out a way how to get out of the situation. That's how it's like advertised. But no, it's just he does kidnap this girl sort of under the pretense that she's looking for modeling, and she gets to stay in a pretty nice room and provided for in this house location and whatever. And yeah, she's kind of forced to do things for him on a camera that he like posts to the web. But it's like she like puts on a cheerleader outfit and then just kind of wiggles the pom poms a little, but doesn't really need to do anything. And then when he gets pissed at her for trying to escape at one point, he has his girlfriend like try to whip her or flog her, and the camera is just on her face, and she's just kind of like, eh. And it's just kind of like, well, is this supposed to be like tragic or funny? Because it like just nothing. I have no idea what they wanted the audience to feel. It was just boring, kind of lame. Then there was a movie 10 by 10. I think it has another title, but this is what keeps on coming up more often when I see it. And this one has a couple of decent actors in it. It's pretty small time thing. There's basically only two characters in the film. There's two or three more that enter into it, but it's basically these two the whole time. Interesting little one, but yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend it. It was fine, but yeah. Then there's the movie Crawl, which had a couple of actors I recognize in it, so I checked that one out, and it was silly. It was has like a small film kind of quality to it, but yeah, I don't know. Then there was Altered, which I hate saying the name Altered because it sounds like I'm saying all turd, but that one's okay. It's got an alien. These people in the south that they were kidnapped. They were probed. They were probed on and experimented on by aliens in the past, and they've been trying to hunt and find these aliens again, or at least one of them, and make them pay for doing that stuff to them. And they end up, catching an alien, and these aliens are apparently really freaking horrific, man. Like they like mind powers. They got disgusting features. They are pretty strong. It seems like these motherfuckers. Man, I don't know. This is a good little story here. It's pretty small, contained. It's not like the end of the world, but they do kind of imply that they don't want to kill the alien because if they do, then the aliens will have more reason to get more violent on Earth. So it's kind of a iffy thing there. Then there is the Megalodon. Ugh. Very cringe movie. I'm disappointed that Jason Statham did not. I think it's Jason Statham in that one that did not get to punch the shark or something. I thought he was gonna get like superpowers and it was gonna be very bonkers and silly. It is silly, but not for very entertaining reasons, to be honest. It was very lackluster, very lame to me, but whatever. And then there's the Leprechaun 2018 or 2019. I despise this movie more than anything, more than all the movies I watched. This was the most aggravating to watch. Holy shit! I've got to do like an actual review on this someday. I'm probably gonna do that next Halloween because I hate this, and I want to rewatch. So the Leprechaun franchise isn't that great in the first place as far as quality, but like this is the type of one where you see the Leprechaun 2019, and then you look back at the other ones. Like there's the first Leprechaun one, where like this one dude eats one of his gold pieces, and the Leprechaun wants to get it back. So he'd probably kill him. He'd easily kill him to get that back. So they're trying to survive that from him. And then in the next one, he's trying to find a bride. And then in the third one, he's got like a shilling that somebody else gets, and he like bites someone, and he starts to become a leprechaun. Very bonkers. And then they go into space, and he's like trying to marry a princess in there and rule the universe or something. And then he goes to the hood twice, and it's very silly concepts, but they work for what they are, and they are funny usually with how corny it is. They know it's fucking corny, but it's like that. It's that type of thing that like it fits up there with like some of the slashers that are entertaining. He's a freaky little villain and everything. And then 2019 what just awful. Like yeah, like no, like tried back to the root kind of mentality where they just failed completely. Fuck that movie. Trick or Treat. I thought this was going to be one that I was not going to like. This was one of just the impression that I got of it was that it's like a little demon thing that's super strong, looks like a kid, and it can just beat the shit out of you. That's like the only type of reference I had for the movie. No, it had a couple different stories within it that all kind of culminate on the same night, basically, and you're following each one as it goes. You get Rogue in there from X-Men, and it was pretty good. It was funnier than I thought it was going to be. It was more interesting than I thought. It's nothing that I'd like praise too highly, but I enjoyed it. I had a lot of enjoyment out of that film. So Trick or Treat, hell yeah. And then there's the movie Old, an M. Night Shyamalan one, which again, that one, well, I don't know. I'm saying again, I haven't fucking talked about it before. It was okay. Like I can see the film quality with it, that it's actually a pretty good film, but it's not one that I enjoy. Like having the concept of aging super quickly that freaks me the hell out, man. Fuck that. Uh, it's a good movie though, and it is a good concept for a movie, just not my flavor of movie. And then there's Psycho. I finally watched the old Psycho that everybody references, and this is one where I pretty much knew the story beforehand. Spoilers and all that, and I don't know, when I was watching the first half of the movie, I was kind of enjoying it up until like, after the detective was questioning Bates, like after that point, I thought the movie was just dragging on way too long. I thought I was liking it up until that point because I didn't know what all happens exactly. And then I was kind of like, yeah, well, I kind of get what happens. And this is just, yeah, we're kind of just chilling around. And I can see how back in the day, again, this would have intrigued a lot of people and was an interesting story and horrific and everything. But I don't know, like it's fine. It's hard for me to look back now. Being I was born in the mid '90s, and I watched this now for the first time in the 2020s to really comment on its quality. So I'm just gonna say it was okay. That's it. And there's the movie Super Bad, which everybody comments on as being pretty funny. It's like the type of one you watch in high school or college. It's I don't know, comedies are really hard for me to get into these days, and I don't like Jonah Hill. I don't like Michael Cera. I don't like a lot of them that are in it. Emma Stone is fine sometimes. I don't know. Bill Hader's kind of funny. Seth Rogen. Ugh, I don't know. This had a lot going against it for me, though there were some funny moments in it. I'll admit, sure, and it's a kind of like understandable bro friendship story going on there, and trying to get interested in girls and what happens in between with that stuff. So it's okay, I guess, but I don't really like it either. Then there's Prey, which came out this year, and I made a video on that. I'm 50-50 on it. It was 5 out of 10 for me. There's a lot of good in it that I think was done really well, but also a lot of goofy ass shit that I thought was really stupid. So, no. Then there is Collateral, which I mentioned before, and then Lego Batman. Way better than I thought that could have been. I thought it was going to be a silly little, Batman tropes or something just going around. And no, I don't know. It was great. It's freaking great. It looked great the way that it was. And the story was good, incorporated so many villains into it and everything. I just freaking enjoyed it. Hell yeah. And then, there was a Spider Verse, Into the Spider Verse. I didn't have that much hopes for that one. I held out on seeing that for the longest time, not having much interest. But after I watched Lego Batman, I watched this as well, and I didn't actually know that some of the same people worked on this film too, but apparently they did. So neat. I wasn't sure about that, but yeah, as I was watching, I was like, oh yeah, this kind of has some similarities to Lego Batman a little bit, but in its own way. And the way they introduce Miles Morales and the way they handle Peter Parker and handle the other ones, the Nicolas Cage voiced one too, and everything is like this was a pretty good little movie here. Kind of liked it. It's not one I'd put as like a favorite of any kind, but I definitely appreciate a lot that happened in there. It's pretty good. Hell yeah. Legally Blonde. This is one that like my sister always loved, and after watching She-Hulk, like Black Angus and I watched She-Hulk, and we were just like, this is the show is so freaking bad. We wanted to watch some type of a movie that has law portrayed in some type of way that is a little bit better and more entertaining. We never saw Legally Blonde, so we checked that out, and it was actually pretty decent. And we think that She-Hulk could have probably worked as a better concept if you had a character like the one in Legally Blonde to be the driver for it with that type of personality. This one was really good. I kind of want to make a video saying talking about Legally Blonde and how that could have like worked as She-Hulk or something, because like there's a lot there that worked. Like it is obviously aimed more for a girl type of audience, and pink and frilly all that, but it's like there's some really good stuff in there, and she's not a total bimbo character. She clearly is has a type of mentality, but she actually buckles down and does a lot of work in that film, which was nice to see. And then we got Waterboy, another Adam Sandler one that I again 50-50 on it. It was fine. There's some things in it I liked, some things in it I find his voice annoying when he does the stuff, like really annoying. But there's some things in there that are pretty funny. And then there was The Batman, the one that came out in theaters. I saw that in theaters. It was fine. There's some things in it, of course, that were pretty good, especially him, like his connection to the shadows and some of the things they do with like Penguin and whatnot. I thought was incorporated pretty well. The actor was surprisingly pretty good at it, and even though we all thought he was going to be Twilight Sparkle Princess, not doing very well, it was okay. The latter half of it is where it just really starts to lose you after a while. Not too great, but it happens, and it's nothing like Thor: Love and Thunder, where it is so abysmal, butchering my boy Thor. Oh, so bad, so freaking bad. I had a whole stream talking about that one. Fuck that movie. Fuck Thor: Love and Thunder. And I saw Ex Machina, which seems like so long ago. That might have actually been one from last year, but I don't remember. It might have been in December last year or early January. I don't remember. But Ex Machina, love the concept. Nice, short, sweet. Had a little twist at the ending. Just pretty good. I liked it. And then we got Wolf on Wall Street, or The Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street. Leo is back again. Wolf of Wall Street here. I don't know. I can recognize how it's a good film. I recognize that it is a good film. I don't have that many critiques about the film at all. I can't even think of one on the top of my head that I would critique it on. But I didn't enjoy it. Maybe I got to be in a certain mood for it. Maybe I got to experience certain things to like really enjoy that type of film. But I was just watching it like, it didn't really matter to me. Didn't really care about it. So what can you do, right? I don't know. And then there was, I forget the exact title of it. I think it was like Best Friend at the End of the World, or Best Friend Till the End of the World, or something. It's got Steve Carell. I think that's the right Steve. I think so. And it's an okay one. It was a little surprising. This one's recommended by Black Angus again, and I don't typically like Steve Carell, but I thought he did okay in this, and I liked the premise of the story and how it ends. Again, was really freaking good. Like it was like in most movies like this with their premise where the world is ending, there's always like some type of way to save it, but they just don't. They spend their time how they do throughout the film, and then it ends. And that's over. Like Earth, the humanity's gone after that. That was really fucking ballsy. Sorry if I spoiled it for you. That was really freaking ballsy on their part, and I really enjoyed that. That was really good. I get sometimes the endings can really save a film for me. It can. And we're almost to the end here. Last two. Oh, I saw Black Adam. Black Adam. I really bad. I don't want to talk about it. I didn't like it because no, just didn't. But thankfully, the last one that I saw before the end of the year was Whiplash. Whiplash, man. I saw Drumline when I was younger, and I assumed it was gonna be something like that, a little competitive drumming or something. But no, man, it was better, way better. They made drumming so intense and interesting, and the just like, I don't even know if I need to go in that much detail about it right here. I freaking loved it though, freaking not spot on, especially the ending. The way it ends, like you would expect there to be a lot more like afterward follow up on what happened after their concert thing, after their show. But nope, it just ends. There you go. You can imagine whatever happens left when this is all done. Uh, which was a pretty good move, another ballsy kind of move because it seemed like one where there would be some type of closure. But no, he just plays his heart out, and you don't know what the future of that character is and all that. So that was pretty good. But anyway, that went on a lot longer than I thought it was going to, over 30 minutes. I wasn't supposed to give that many, little insight. I was supposed to list them off, read them, 1, 2, 3. But I hate doing that because I want to give a little bit of an opinion on what it was, just so you guys know, just in case you haven't seen the other videos. But I have pretty much made reactions on most of these videos. Or most of these movies. A couple of them I have not yet, but I'm gonna start posting them in January on this channel. So you'll see some of my first time reactions, after, they're for 2022, but they'll be in January. So with that, thank you all for watching and have a good one.